Good morning. My name is Wei No. I'm a member of AAPM History Committee. Today is July 28th, 2025. We're here at Washington, D.C. Convention Center, where the AAPM annual meeting is held. The AAPM History Committee usually organize interviews with senior physicists who have made significant contributions to the medical physics profession. The purpose for this type of interviews is to recognize their achievements and contributions, and also provide opportunities for them to share their experience and give advice for the benefit of young and future medical physicists. Today, I'm honored and pleased to interview Dr. Wang on behalf of Medical AAPM History Committee. Dr. Wang is a professor and director of Biomedical Imaging Center and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Dr. Wang is a very productive researcher. He has published over 700 papers. Of course, he has made very significant contributions in this field, and thus received about 23 awards in his career. The most recent award is AAPM Alice Quimby Award for Lifetime Achievement. Congratulations, Dr. Wang.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So let's get started by asking you to tell us about your background, especially just tell us how you became a medical physicist.
Okay, so I received my undergraduate education in China from Xidian University. My university is very strong in signal processing, telecommunication, and so on. So I got a strong educational background. Also, I received a master's degree in China from National Academy of Sciences, Institute of Remote Sensing. My master's thesis is on remote sensing satellite image analysis, particularly texture analysis. So I got a very good background. Then I moved to United States, received my second master in 1991, and then my PhD in 1992, and both in X-ray microtomography. So this prepared me well. Then I entered medical imaging domain. So started my career from Mallinckrodt Institute of Radiology, Washington University School of Medicine. So I worked there a few years. Then I followed my mentor, Michael Vanier, went to University of Iowa, spent a couple of years there. Then I moved to Virginia Tech to lead the division of medical imaging. And after that, I joined Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, directing biomedical imaging center. So pretty much like that. So how I entered the field of medical physics and medical imaging is really from my junior faculty position as an instructor in Mallinckrodt Institute of Radiology.
Okay. So as a student and or postdocs, and even you become a junior faculty. So who among those teachers, instructors, mentors, and also colleagues made most significant impact on your career?
I think overall, I'm greatly blessed by my visionary mentors. So starting from many mentors. So starting from my PhD advisor, Professor Pin Chin Cheng, and he is just a genius. He was trained as a plant biologist, but he ended up with EE department, tenured faculty member. And he grew corn and a lot of interesting things. He gave me full freedom. He trusted me, treated me very beginning as a colleague. So we worked together. I learned a lot from him, being open and interdisciplinary and so on. So once I became employed by Washington University School of Medicine, I have several distinguished mentors. I just mentioned Professor Michael Vanier. He hired me, mentored me on how to write NIH grant and so on. And we still great personal friends. We exchange email very often. I got his message the day before yesterday. So Michael Vanier is number one. Then I work as a medical physicist, doing CT dosimetry, so on. And Dr. Quimby made the pioneering contribution in dosimetry. So this kind of coincidence. And the medical physics group leader at WashU is Professor Topigausin. He made pioneering contribution in PET imaging, and he led the group. I learned a lot. So he treated me very nicely. So I love him. So and also Professor Professor Don Snyder, and he was a chaired professor with EE on Hilltop campus of WashU, and he gave me some good literature, some comments, encouragement about signal processing. So number of very senior people, they are very nice to me. They are very open. I can list more names like Norbert Pilk and others. So I learned a lot from these mentors.
Yeah, I think that's true. You benefit a lot from your teacher mentors. But on the other hand, you have been mentors for many years now. So if you, I'm sure you have a very long list of your students, trainees. But among those, do you think you can mention some of those you consider most proud of your students?
I'm proud of my trainees, former students, former postdoctoral fellows. They are very, very talented. So I think this is a blessing. We learn from each other. And a number of them, like Professor Heng Yongyu, he right now is a professor with UMass Lowell, and he is IEEE fellow and MB fellow, received the award, very successful, highly cited publications, and so on. And I have some new students got a faculty position, and one assistant professor with Wake Forest University, and Qing Lu, and also one returned to Hong Kong. Become a faculty and wrote theoretical AI papers. They're doing great. I have a number of student postdoc fellows. Many of them become leaders in academy and industry. So we still stay in collaboration.
Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we know you are very productive in research and made a lot of contributions in medical imaging field. And but I just wonder if you can just briefly just describe your research interest.
So I'm interested in medical imaging. This is a very broad statement, particularly X-ray computed tomography. I published in almost all these modalities at various resolution scales for preclinical and clinical applications. So majority paper is on X-ray related. And also nowadays AI is very powerful. So we use AI method to do medical imaging research. So a couple of years ago, I wrote a perspective article talking about future of medical imaging. I think I published a perspective article in 2016, so about 10 years ago. The paper is the first roadmap how the field will evolve. When we're talking about medical imaging and the reconstruction, image reconstruction algorithms, people usually used to say two types of reconstruction algorithms. And analytic, like Fourier transform, one-line formula, or iterative, a lot of iterative, like EM and SART, those iterative formula. And I think I was among the first researchers realize the potential. So we would have the third category. That's a deep learning-based tomographic reconstruction. So you need to train a deep neural network iteratively, like an iterative algorithm. But once the deep reconstruction network got trained, you can use it for inference, image reconstruction, also called sampling, in straightforward fashion. And that is kind of like an analytic algorithm. This is the third new category. So I pointed out in my perspective article, and I'm very proud the field evolved along that direction. So that's just very exciting. So in summary, medical imaging, particularly X-ray CT, and nowadays everything, AI-empowered foundational model and generative AI for denoising, for super resolution, and also for diagnosis, prognosis. So a lot of exciting opportunities. So in addition to medical imaging research, and I also spend a good amount of time in teaching innovation. So we developed some software. So in pandemic period, so students took examination at home. They may call each other, so they cheat. And we developed a software system preventing students from cheating. And also I designed, I believe, the very first medical imaging course in the framework of machine intelligence. So this is a new thing. And currently my students and I are developing avatarized online teaching. So my avatar talking like me, and I can easily translate into multiple languages. And we hope someday we can interact with my avatar. You have any question, you press pause and ask Professor Ji Wang, please explain why you have that particular step, or what is Fourier transform. My avatar will answer. Maybe it's very similar to me, or maybe better than me, because backend we have a fine-tuned large language model. I feel very exciting. So we do teaching innovation and training next generation in highly innovative fashion. So this is the teaching part. I'm also very interested in publishing. And I mentioned Professor Turper Gaussian, the head of medical physicists group at WashU. He was highly respected, and many reasons. One of them, he was founding editor-in-chief of AAPM Transaction Medical Imaging. That is a flagship journal in the tomographic imaging field. And also my mentor, I mentioned Michael Vanier, he was former editor-in-chief of AAPM Transaction Medical Imaging. And now I'm the current editor-in-chief of the same journal. I feel privileged, but the journal has great tradition, and I want to uphold high standard and also use AI to innovating journal management. So I initiated an initiative called AI for TMI, and we enlist about 20 tasks. So one controversial, but I think a very important issue, could we, to what degree we can use AI models, large language models, after fine-tuning to do scientific reviews. So we are serious, very serious about it. So we try to organize a team, many talented associate editors and colleagues with support from steering and advisory committees. So we want to collect the data and perform double-blinded studies. And I personally believe AI for science, AI for journal management, AI for education. So I feel blessed and so many opportunities. I have great collaborators.
Sounds very interesting. Yeah, so I know AI is kind of a very hot topic in every area. So it's not just in medical physics. However, AI applications right now people a little bit concerned about, especially in diagnostic imaging field. So for example, AI can be used for like review the images to like CT or some similar as radiologists. So people just worry if AI can replace radiologists soon in the future.
It's a very hot topic, debatable. But I think AI, generative AI, is very imaginary. So anything missing, you block certain things, it will fill in gap in painting very nicely. This is powerful. But when AI models do this, sometimes they give you misinformation. So it's like a coin, you have two sides. You have imagination, then you are subject to hallucination. And the trick is to use knowledge and add constraint so that the AI models can do as well or even better than human being. I believe in the future. So there are all the issues. Human being, we make a mistake all the time, but we still develop a good series, very powerful method, and we expect AI model will do something similar or even better.
So you believe the AI may replace radiologists?
I would say AI will be a very powerful assistant initially.
Okay.
And the future is hard to say. And we are based on carbon, so this is biological life. Then the machine intelligence based on silicon. And in the future, we have quantum computing. The future is hard to predict. And some book I read called Singularity. And I tend to think, first, the human being is very smart. Every few years, they figure out a totally different paradigm. Okay. Then on the other hand, the nature is very mystery. I think what will be the best form of intelligence. And at this moment, I tend to think a hybrid form of intelligence, human in the loop and the machine, like the brain-computer interface, all these things integrated together. And the future will be dramatically different from what we can imagine now. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think it's related to what you say. Another issues people also kind of raised up is about how to kind of manage or control AI, other than AI actually would do something not human being intentionally to do. So for example, so I think it's right now it's discussing like government try to kind of come up with some regulations, rules, how to develop AI technologies. So kind of, do you think this is really issues?
Yeah, and I think you pointed out extremely important issue. Yeah. So AI, people mostly talk about how you make AI. They talk about big data, okay, advanced architecture, algorithm, like transformer, large language model. Okay, then you need a very powerful computing resources, 3 pillars. So I really believe in regulatory science. So regulatory aspect is very important. Regulation would be the 4th pillar Otherwise, AI model do things may not be in full alignment with human judgment and value.
Right.
So ethics, fairness, biases, all these are important issues. And our group realized this issue very early on. Actually, 4 years, 5 years ago, we started a major collaboration with FDA scientists, and we got a R01 funded, talking about adversary AI-based virtual workflow for regulatory science in collaboration with several leading researchers in the FDA in the regulatory science domain, like Dr. Kyle Meyer and several very close colleagues. And we do bi-weekly meetings since then until now. So we spend time, now is the time we renew the grant. So renew the grant, how we use AI to help generate a lot of data, and in turn to evaluate AI software models as a medical imaging device. So we developing all these things, a lot of issues like stability, interpretability, and just too many things to do.
Yeah. I think it's exciting, but we still need to do a lot of things to make AI just really just helpful and also probably serve human beings, not just against human purpose. Another thing I think I noticed, you basically probably you proposed the idea of Combine CT spiral, Combine spiral CT, right?
Oh, the spiral CT is a major thing, had a revolutionary impact. Spiral CT idea originated from, to my best knowledge, a Japanese engineer filed a IP about fan beam X-ray spiral CT and in a Japanese patent, I think 86. And a few years later, both General Electric and Siemens, they really developed, refined spiral CT into their scanner. So at that time, the imaging modality used fan beam, so the X-ray fan beam, but it's just one slice, it's 2D fan beam. You do 2D fan beam, you do spiral scanning.
I think right now the
missing data is interpolated using interpolation. And then my main contribution is to extend this fan beam into cone beam. Once you open fan beam into cone beam, the beam divergence is very challenging to process. And I proposed the first cone beam spiral CT algorithm. And my algorithm is approximate. It took a field about a decade to advance this approximate cone beam spiral CT algorithm to theoretically accurate spiral CT algorithm. And I think I published my cone beam spiral CT algorithm 1991. And decades later, Russian mathematician Alexander Katsevich formulated the first theoretically exact spiral cone beam CT algorithm. The field spent a lot of effort, published many papers, and I also published a lot, also try to figure out exact cone beam spiral CT algorithm. And Professor Katsevich is the first one, figured the problem. I collaborated with him and my collaborator student and Professor Katsevich. Later on, we extended this work into triple source spiral and a lot of mathematics involved. So I love that kind of mathematical work.
Okay, but has the Combine spiral CT algorithm been implemented? But my understanding right now, what we use is a CT we use for diagnosis and also simulation for radiation therapy. It's not a Combine spiral CT, right?
I think there are millions CT scans, medical CT scans used worldwide every year. And the majority in cone beam geometry, a large number, I think over 50% is in spiral. Not everything, but sometimes they use circular or half circle scan depending on application. But the spiral cone beam scanning and widely used. I don't have an exact number, but I believe about 50%, over 50% is in a cone beam spiral geometry scanning mode.
Yeah. So I know we use a cone beam CT for just simple one, not a spiral. For IGRT, just basically put a cone beam CT on the neck, just do onboard imaging. Yeah, but I think it's very interesting.
And the circular scanning is also very important. If you have a fixed region of interest, you just keep doing circular scanning. But if the region of interest, the object is elongated, spiral is a very natural scanning mode.
Yeah. But that one, so if we apply to radiation therapy treatment, put in a clinic, we have to move the couch to do that.
Like you do bolus tracing, CT angiography, and you would use a moving table, and you just do spiral scanning to track the bolus propagation.
Right. So, I know you have. We already mentioned I have made a lot of contributions, but what do you think are your most important or the greatest contributions, achievement you made for medical physics?
I made a number of achievements in collaboration with my collaborators, so we're very proud of them. If you say single out one of them, I think in terms of practical impact, so cone beam helical spiral CT scanning, that used most widely, so that's one. But in terms of hotness, then the AI imaging, I wrote the perspective and considered as one of the pioneers of this field. So this hottest, this current trend, I think that's quite impactful. Nowadays, we're talking about low-dose CT scanning, and my group, first group, and we published the low-dose deep learning algorithm. It's widely used, and we collaborated with General Electric, and now every vendors, they use deep learning to reduce radiation dose. That is very important. You reduce cancer risk. So that is, it's arguable which one is more influential, CT or spiral. Spiral cone beam is kind of a classic contribution. And currently, we work very hard on AI imaging, denoising, deep learning, and the foundational model for diagnosis. And so this is arguable. And then mathematically, we developed something called interior tomography with a number of brilliant researchers, like I mentioned, Professor Heng Yongyu, a couple of mathematicians, and we developed theory and algorithm, and that is, I think, going to be important. The mathematics is quite involved, not highly cited, but I'm very proud of the work.
So you mentioned a low-dose CT. How low dose you think?
Right now, the conventional old days CT protocol, and we treat it as a nominal radiation dose. And now we can cut the dose to 1/5, 1/10 without compromising diagnostic performance. How low it can go? With the AI model, I think it could be go down further. And the lowest limit is task relevant. So if we have an elephant in the room, how you can make the image? I have very strong knowledge. I know you put an elephant in the room or not. So it only shoot 1 photon. the photon goes through, and I know the elephant is not in the room. Otherwise, the photon will be blocked. So it can be very low if I have very, very strong knowledge. This come back to generative AI. So generative AI models the data distribution have very good domain prior. So you utilize that prior for given task. You define the boundary very clearly. The radius dose can be very, very low, even lower than what we see in literature today. That's my belief.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'd be very, very helpful. Yes. And I think it's you have a practice in this field for many years. What kind of changes have you observed since you entered this field?
I think the field has been very friendly and good for younger researchers, and we have a very nice community. And the field grow substantially. And I attended the previous AAPM meeting a good number of years ago, but I see the meeting get better and better. So I think the field has a great future. So this is my first impression. The technologies, practice keep improving.
Okay. And what kind of challenges do you think we are facing right now in medical physics or medical imaging?
In generally, because we're talking about paradigm shift from traditional methodology and practice to new one, AI empowered. Then you mentioned the regulatory issues, a lot of things. That is challenges and opportunities.
Okay. So since AI has been introduced, I think it's probably most people will think AI will play a bigger role in medical imaging or medical medicine field.
So in
right?
the AAPM framework, imaging and therapeutic planning, AI can help a lot, like the concept agentic AI. So you do radiation therapeutic planning, and I have great collaborators like Xu Jia with Johns Hopkins University. He is interested, and Steve Jiang with UT Southwestern. They're all interested using AI doing therapeutic planning. So we are in collaboration and trying to explore and see how much we could improve.
Yeah, just not from technological point of view, but from professional point of view. So introduction AI definitely will reduce, improve the efficiency. But efficiency means less people need it, right? So do you think that will affect this field professionally?
I'm optimistic. I think as the field further develop, younger generations and also older generations, we learn more about AI, and those issues will be gradually fixed. So I'm very positive.
Okay. So if you want to make a prediction, so what do you think? What the medical physics or medical imaging would look like in 20 years or 50 years?
Yeah, this is it's a big question. And I tend to think medical imaging, also diagnostic imaging. So diagnostic imaging, that means you want to find something wrong. You want to do diagnosis, right? So this is the conventional wisdom. The future, I tend to think a concept called preventive imaging. So not to tell what is wrong with you. We try to predict what will go wrong with you. So like molecular imaging, kind of that. So you just want to see early sign, early diagnosis, something like that. But preventive imaging can go beyond that, and just coupled with healthcare analytics. So you got the Apple Watch, and you measure blood pressure, so you count how many steps you walk a day. So all these data coupled with point of care or residential imaging device, and like ultrasound transducer coupled with iPad, and you can do certain things. And even very low dose CT, and maybe 1% of natural background radiation. I do imaging, get some lousy data, but I have a powerful AI model. I take all these multiple model data and just get individualized medical imaging center, individualized health care. So this is something not totally new, like precision medicine. But in the future, I think with like Apple Watch, so what is the Apple Watch equivalent of tomographic scanner, very cheap. And we already show some example, the ultrasound transducer. And the optical imager, you look into your eye, OCT, and some low dose, very low dose X-ray imaging results. We integrate all these together, and the big data and the smart model, and we can tell you in 20 years, if you don't change your current habit, the trajectory indicate most risky thing. You would have cardiovascular disease. Then you modify your trajectory, you can avoid. So preventive medicine and preventive imaging and AI-empowered, agentic, personalized, very powerful, intelligent. So this is my fuzzy impression about the future.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned optical imaging. So I also had actually in collaboration with some biomedical imaging faculty. So right now, I think it's the optical imaging there has a limitation in terms of penetrating the depths, right? Because for us, we'll try to get imagings in the tumor, especially some tumors deep-seated. So that one, so optical imaging is kind of reach that far. So that's, you're thinking there's can be.
I believe in a multi-modal, multi-modality imaging, and I teach medical imaging course over decades. So the major modality, X-ray, nuclear, and MRI, ultrasound, optical.
Right.
Why we have multiple imaging modalities? Because they have strengths and limitations. So multiple imaging, multiple data integrated together, then we will be able to give you the best answer.
I see. Yeah, I agree. And out of the research, you are also doing education, teaching, mentoring, and also professionally, you're involved and deeply involved in a professional organization like AAPM, IEEE. And I'm sure at the same time you have to spend a lot of time in administration. So how do you handle those kind of multitasks and also balance your time and prioritize something you're thinking more important?
I think I enjoy working, so I work very hard. So I work a lot of things, I work very hard. And also I'm blessed and my family support is very strong.
I see.
And my wife got a PhD degree, and he fully supported me. He took care of many things, so I can focus on my research. So it's just nothing secretive. I'm not dumb, but I'm not a super genius. I need to work very hard, so I can know a lot of knowledge, and I can form new ideas. So working hard is very important, and also you need to really committed. You love your career. So I think the medical imaging career fit me very well. I enjoy doing my work, interacting with colleagues, like we chat, and this social interaction, and overall it's very pleasant.
Okay, so you had a family support.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. And another question I want to ask you, because this is your medical imaging. You can work collaborating with many people in the many different fields, right? So radiation therapy and also double E or something. So, and also you have a big group. So what do you think about teamwork? You are not work by yourself, right?
Teamwork is very important. So medical physics is an interdisciplinary area. So I enjoy learning different things, but still the knowledge is just so vast domain, and you can only know a small part of it. So heard the phrase "jack of all trade," everything know a little bit, but you're not expert in anything. We are expert in certain things, like X-ray computed tomography, like applied math, we're pretty good programming, but it goes to neurology and cancer biology, we are not good. So, but if we do teamwork, then we can know everything. It's just omnipower through collaboration. So I enjoy collaborating with many great collaborators, industrial collaborator, and my most favorite industrial partner, long-term partner, General Electric, and Bruno Diemann, my friend. We got a couple of NIH grants together. And my medical mentors, collaborators, like Michael Vanier, like Manu Kaura at MGH, and James Brink at MGH, and also Chris Whitlow at Wake Forest University. So we got medical advices and insight that way. And I think I collaborated with about 10 mathematicians, and we try to. I'm very good at mathematics compared to engineer, but I still need advice, collaboration from professional, even pure mathematician. So this is just a wonderful experience, and we have a network. I know many friends can count on. They learn from me, I learn from them, and we achieve together a lot more than individually could imagine.
Yeah. And as an immigrant, I think we have similar backgrounds. Do you think your Chinese background ever help you in your career?
I wouldn't think the foreign background, Chinese background, particularly helpful or not helpful. I tend to think neutrally. So you just need to demonstrate your talent. You need to work hard. But my statement also show in professional domain, my peers are not biased. If you do good work, regardless you are Chinese, you are Korean, you are Japanese, you do good work, and career-wise you will get recognized. And I remember, about more than 20 years ago, I received AAPM Travel Award, and that's for medical physicists. 1 year, one medical physicist got an award traveling in Europe, and I gave a lecture at Cambridge, Oxford. That has a tremendous impact. I feel recognition. I enjoy the experience opening my eye. So AAPM is really, I think, is my home society. So I feel a lot of support, encouragement. And why I received this, I think I have a wonderful mentor. I work very hard, and I'm Chinese or not Chinese, I will get a similar thing. So this is also good reason why many foreign scientists would like to stay in the United States. It's a fire open, give you lot of opportunities. So I love my colleagues, and regardless their nationalities.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
So you will work for your entire life? Continue to work?
Right now, I see some of my friends, my classmates, they retired. And I feel I'm still full of energy. I have a lot of ideas every day. I enjoy working. So I do not plan specifically when I will stop. As long as I feel I can keep writing, generating idea, I will keep going. And this is my career and also my life. But if I feel I'm tired, I couldn't catch up, then that will be time for semi-retirement or full retirement. I will take this naturally.
So, do you have any hobbies?
My hobby, say I enjoy walking. So walking with my wife or my colleagues, just walk around. I enjoy, and I have a personal hobby. I like reading some philosophical essays, thinkings. That's my kind of hobby, because you never make life out of philosophy. I enjoy those comments, analysis, those things, and then I sometimes watch serious Chinese movies. So that's my hobby.
Okay, that's what you plan to do after you retire, probably.
After retirement, I think at that time I didn't think very seriously. But if that happens, I will read some interesting physics books. I don't have time to read, but I feel physics is very fascinating. The string theory, those on the quantum field. So there are some very good popular science books I don't have time to read. So that will be one thing. And also travel around, and I never visited India, Russian, so those, Egypt, so those traveling will be something I could do.
Okay. All right, now last question. So what do you like most to be remembered for?
I love my work, and I love medical imaging field, and I made some contributions.
Okay, I think we're about time.
Okay.
We'll end this interview. Thank you very much.
I very much enjoy our conversation. So
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay.
Okay.